Testing. Okay, we're live, John. Can you say something?
Hola amigos, buenos dias.
Okay, let me tweak the volume a bit. Can you say something?
Hola amigos, buenos dias.
Okay, I'm gonna say something as well. Hello world, hello world. Okay, yeah, I think that's the right volume. Turn
Hey.
on the music.
Hola.
I think this is good.
Okay.
So this is the 21st game dev chat.
Hola.
Hola. So what have you been doing like for the past week, John? Play any games?
Oh yes, Bravely Default. I love it. It's
Briefly
so so interesting. Cause like the battle mechanics, you can normally in most other games you do like one move per turn, right? For every character. Every character does one move per turn. But here in this game, you can kind of take a loan on that. You can take a loan from your next few turns to act, to move a few times on this turn.
Oh, what's the catch?
You loan that your enemy can do the same as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so like if you take like the moves, if you use the number of moves from the later turns, right, you can do up to 4 moves. So you can loan up to 4 moves if you think of it that way. Then the next 3 turns this character cannot move.
I see.
Yeah.
It's an
And
interesting mechanic.
And so that gives your opponent a chance to act on you for the next 3 turns.
Nice.
Give and take, but it's interesting.
That's cool.
And what about you?
Me? I beat Shantae Risky's Revenge.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a game on the DS, I think. It's either the DS or the 3DS. I cannot remember which one. It's pretty good. It's more difficult than the one of the later title called Half Genie Heroes.
Oh.
Yeah, Half Genie Hero, sorry, singular. So
more difficult.
More difficult, yeah, and in that sense it made it more enjoyable for me, right? Yeah, it's more difficult, so it reminds me of Mega Man in a sense. Yeah. Although I for most of my playthrough I kinda played it wrong. Because you're supposed to buy upgrade, right? For your character, so that your attack is stronger and so on and so forth. There's an in-game shop where you have to buy upgrades. And I didn't do that. So like all the way till the final boss, I was using the weakest attack. So I was like, why is my attack so slow? Yeah. Until the final boss, when I died at the final boss, I'm like, you know what? Let's check out this store and purchase all of the items available. And then all of a sudden, my character became a powerhouse. So.
Satsuga chiny.
Yeah, so it felt very different all of a sudden, right? Like all my moves become a lot more responsive, and I was like, oh yeah, that this is how it's supposed to be. But in any case, sorry? What?
Maybe it's harder only because you made it harder for yourself.
maybe. But in any case, the game was good.
Awesome.
So shall we begin? Like what do you have here?
Right. So actually, let me just show off. Let's see. So this is what we had last week. Basically, just a little flashing of the border around the Tetris playing field. Last week. So last week I said I would try to implement the whole chromatic aberration thing again on the Tetris pieces, on the Minos, and yeah, that's what I did last week, for the whole of last week. So let's recap what I did last week. So basically, what I did last week was...
You bought a tablet?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I just using my mouse, as you can see. So last week, what I was doing was I was using 4x4 sprites, 2x2 sprites to represent the playing field.
Yes.
So you can imagine this playing field is 10 rows, 10 columns wide and 20 rows tall.
Yes.
So I would need like 5 of these. Shucks.
Amazing.
5 of these 2x2 tiles.
Yes.
2x2 sprites in one row, and then I will need 10 of them in one column. And so that would give me 50 2x2 sprites. I would have to use 50 2x2 sprites to represent the entire playing field. Now, if I want to do my chromatic aberration thing where I had like 3 different layers, I would need a total of 150 sprites, 3 times 50, so that gives me 150 sprites.
Yes.
But the GBA only gives me 1 to 8 sprites. I can only address up to 1 to 8 sprites.
Okay.
So 150 is obviously greater than 128. So I was thinking, maybe I need bigger sprites. So this week I switched to using a what's this? 2x4 sprite.
2x4.
2x4. 2 columns, 4 rows. So that gives me in one column 20 divided by 4. That would be 5 sprites in one column, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that is 5 sprites in one row.
Oh, okay.
So 5 times 5 is 25. So that gives me 25. I need just 25 sprites to represent the playing field. And so if I times 3, I'll use up 75 sprites to represent the 3 different layers of the playing field. And ta-da,
You still have sprites to spare.
Yeah, I still have sprites to spare. What I did this week. So open that again. Yeah. So now I even have sprites available for me to do the next piece display.
Nice.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things was I used to do the 2x4 sprites. So I have to kind of represent the 2x4 sprites in memory.
Yes.
Let's see if I can show it here. Sprites. Oops. Hold on. So basically, I need to define these sprites in memory, right?
Yes.
And so the sprites are made up of tiles, as you've seen just now. So you need to kind of tell the GBA where to find these tiles. Right? So the GBA has 2 different modes of addressing your sprites, your sprite sheet, if you call it that.
Yeah.
So oops. Okay. So let's say my sprite. So normally when we do like our sprites in a sprite sheet, we would have like a Metroid drawn in our sprite sheet like that.
Yeah.
It's a very convincing Metroid, but anyway.
Yeah. Metroid. That's not a Metroid.
It is in my book.
Okay.
So conventionally, we would have a 2D sprite. We just lay it out in our texture map, in our texture atlas.
Yes.
But the GBA also supports another way of addressing, which is you lay out your sprites in a 1D array. So you take this chunk, let's say this is the first row, and then you dump it here. And so your first row will probably look like that.
Yeah.
And then you take the second row, and then dump it here.
What is the atomic unit? Like when you slice them up?
So it's still 8x8 tiles.
8x8, I see.
It's still 8x8 tiles. So you still need to define 8x8, but your 8x8 tiles will be laid out. You can imagine it as in memory as a single line,
right?
Instead of taking up a 2D array.
Oh hey, Fota's in the chat. Hello, Fota.
Hello.
Okay, sorry, John. Yes.
So
yeah.
So instead of with like oh yes, what was I gonna say? Right. So if my sprite is, let's say, 2x4, right? How many different permutations are there for filling up the sprite? Right? So like you could fill up this one.
Yeah. Everyone has 2 states, right?
Yeah. That's 2 to the power of 8.
Yeah.
I need like 2, 5, 6. Oh no.
There's an amazing drawing, John. Oh, that is 5. I see. I thought you were drawing something. 2, 5. 2, 5, 6.
Define 2, 5, 6 different sprites.
Yeah.
We kind of saw last week how I tried to squish my 2x2 tiles into a 2D array, 2D sprite sheet, and it kind of looked like a really messy kind of piece. But anyway, with 2x6, I probably wouldn't have enough space because the texture atlas that I have, we can call it a texture atlas. Oops.
Uh-huh.
Is 32 tiles. Oh boy. by 32 tiles. So you have this texture atlas, and it's 32 by 32 lah.
Right. John, can I ask you a question? You said that how many addressable sprites can you have for GBA?
I have 128 addressable sprites.
And each sprite is 8 by 8? Is that it, or is different?
Right, I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Right, so your sprites can range in size. You can sort of tell the GBA what size a sprite is. Each of these sprites you can tell the GBA what sprite. So you can have sprites that are 8 by 8.
Yes.
You can have sprites that are 8 by 16.
Ah.
Or you can have the other way around, 16 by 8. Or you can have like 16 by 16. It goes all the way up to 64 by 64.
Right, and it's always a power of 2.
And then it's there are predefined values. So there are a total of 16 different values you can
presets. I see.
presets, I see. Yeah, 16 different presets. So there's no 8 by 64. It's 16 by 32 or 32 by 64 or something like that.
Then what is this? What is the limit of the atlas?
Oh wait, sorry. These are all pixels in pixel values. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, but the atlas itself, like, is there like a limit?
The whole tile map.
Yeah.
The whole tile map is 32 tiles. Oh boy.
Tiles. It's in tiles,
tiles.
not in pixels. Okay.
Yeah. So it's 32 times 8. That is 2 to the 5 to the 3 to the power 8. 2 by 6 pixels. 2 by 6 by 2 by 6 feet.
Look at you doing your mental sums. Okay.
Right. So it's 2 by 6 by 2 by 6 pixels.
Right.
I just wish I could write as fast as I spoke.
Wait, but if your tile isn't uniform size, right? So it's 8 by 16. Does it mean that the height will be longer?
Yes. The
I
height will
see.
be longer.
I
So
see.
you could have a sprite that is this.
Right.
Instead of a square, it could be like a few.
So the atlas will be 32 times 16 then.
Oh no! You only have one atlas. This is your VRAM. This is your VRAM. This is part of your VRAM anyway.
Yes. So it's okay. So the max
this
you can
is-
go is 32 times 8, which is 256 pixels across.
Oh yeah. You have 256 pixels here. You have 256 pixels here.
Ah.
This is the space that is given to you to define your sprite data, your sprite sheet.
I see.
At least that's what I think. I think there is only one sprite sheet. There might be more. I need to go back and read it again. But as far as I know, this is all I have.
Is that even enough for 16 by 16? Like for 128 16 by 16 sprites? Is that enough?
That's a good question. I need to go back and read some more.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just saying whatever comes to my. I'm not sure. Maybe it's enough if we just divide. Just do the calculations for it. I don't know, man. Maybe.
I need to go back and read again.
Okay.
But anyway, I wanted to just use a single. If there are multiple pages, then I just wanted to use one single page, one single chunk of VRAM for my sprites.
Understood.
Yeah. So what do I need? So we have 2, 5, 6 different permutations of my 2 by 4 sprite.
Yes.
Right. To fill up the playing field.
Yes, which is
Now,
clearly not enough, right? Which is clearly too many, right? Too many.
Too many.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, with the 1D addressing, I can say define my sprite, my first sprite, the empty sprite. So I'll say the first sprite is the empty sprite. I'll say, start from sprite 0, and use this chunk. Let me use a different color. Let's see, red. And I'll say, so my first sprite will use this chunk. These eight tiles.
And it still remains a 2 by 8 sprite.
Yeah.
I see.
Because the GBA will assign it like this one goes here, this one goes here,
Understood.
this one goes here, and so on.
Right. Yeah.
So now I need a new sprite, and this one will be still the same 2x4, but now I just want to color maybe this chunk.
Right.
I
Yeah.
want to fill up this chunk. So what I can do is I can say this one over here is colored, it's filled up all the way,
Yes.
and then I'll say, oh, now start from this chunk. Well, actually, okay, maybe, let me just erase this.
Oh, it should be at the bottom, is it?
At the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I would say like, oh, this chunk is colored.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This chunk. And so I would say, start. Make my second sprite start at index 1.
Right.
And then so on and so forth. Like for the third one, I'll have to do like for the third one, it will look like this.
Would you like to
Oh,
describe
yeah.
the motivation for doing it that way?
The motivation is just so that I can squish all the 256 permutations into as little space as possible.
Nice.
Right. So that I can, all I need, right, is actually 256 plus another 7 more, 256 tiles plus another 7 more, so that gives me 263 tiles.
Okay.
I just need 260, oh my goodness, 3 tiles. The 2. I need 263 tiles.
It's time to buy a tablet.
Yeah. So I just need 263 tiles for 63 tiles for my 256 permutations.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
So one of the issues I had was, I needed to find a way to generate like this sequence of which tile to color, which one not to color, so that I can just keep shifting my window 1 index forward.
Right.
Say, the next sprite starts at index 1, next sprite starts at index 2. If that makes sense. Next
Right.
sprite definition starts at index 2 of the tile map. Next
Yes.
sprite definition starts at index 3 of the tile map, and so on.
Yes.
Yeah. So it turns out that there is such a sequence. In fact, there are many such sequences. They are called the Brown sequences. So
Brown sequences.
I think it's pronounced Brown.
That
It's
is pronounced. Oh, okay.
It's Dutch. I assume Dutch is pronounced that way.
Okay.
If there's anyone out there who knows how to speak Dutch, please
Yeah.
let me
Please
know.
let us know. Yeah.
So anyway, it's called the Brown sequence. And,
Okay.
it's not like a unique sequence for this particular. You could construct multiple the Brown sequences for this given alphabet and subsequence length. So my alphabet is just 0 and 1, so it's a size of 2, and I'm looking for a sequence of length 8.
Right.
So there are many ways of constructing one. And I actually wrote a Python script to help me generate the thing before I went to search and found the actual name of these things.
Nice. So you wrote your own algorithm, right?
Yeah.
To generate the whatever you call that.
Yeah, the Brown sequence. So it was like a Python script. So basically what I did was I start with 0, 0, 0, 0, or 8 zeros, and then I dump them into a set of scene values.
Okay.
And I start with the binary of this 0, 0, 0, which is just 0. The binary, treat it as an integer, what you get 0.
Okay.
And then I just take the substring from the second value onwards, and then I append a 1.
Okay.
So I take this and I append a 1 at the end, and then if I have seen it before, then I drop it and I add a 0 instead.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if it has also been seen before, I generate an exception, which luckily did not happen.
Right.
And then you just add them to the set and to the array of binary values that I've seen before.
And this will give you all of the possible permutation.
Yeah, apparently it did.
Nice.
It's a lucky thing because I wasn't sure if it would work.
It's amazing what the few lines can do, right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I'll add a 1. If it doesn't work, I'll add a 0. Super surprised that it actually works.
It's amazing.
It's like an actual algorithm over here that will.
Is this different?
Here.
Is the one here different?
Yeah, I don't think it actually uses like a set. I think it just
Oh.
calculates the next thing straight away.
I see.
So
Cool, man.
mine is slower. If you were going to generate something for a longer length or a bigger alphabet, it would probably not. My code would probably take a super long time. This one seems to be pretty short time.
I see. But you know, for the purpose of a Tetris game, yours works.
Yeah, it works. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm not looking for fast. I'm just looking for
Make
get
it
me
work,
results right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. And then I just had to dump it in, so you can see my encoding. The first one is 0. The second one is 1. The next one is
Holy crap!
Oh.
Wait, these are the index, tau index. Is it?
What is
Wait,
this actually?
what exactly? Yeah.
Let me think. Oh no! It's like I treated my right here. So I treated this. So this is value 0, right?
Yeah.
I'll treat this as value 1.
Yeah.
This would be 3, right?
Okay.
That's 1 and 2, right?
Why 3? Oh, I see. Okay.
This would be 0. Rather 2 to the 0, which is 1. This is 2 to 1, is 2. This is 2 to the 2, which is 4. This is
Right.
To the 0, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3 is 8.
It's basically the numerical value of the binary numbers, lah.
Yes,
I
exactly.
see. I see.
So I needed to convert that from the binary value into the actual tau index, like the sprite index. Where in the VRAM.
Yes.
And so to start addressing.
How do you do that?
So through my Python script. My Python script will generate my where is my Python script? My Python script will generate two things. One is the sequence itself, and the other is the sequence, and the other is the mapping.
Yes.
From the sprite to the.
So this is the sequence, right?
Oh no, the sequence is actually this one.
This is the sequence.
Yeah, it is a big engine in big engine form.
I see.
I kind of messed it up, but anyway, I kind of messed it up somehow, and it's like whatever, I just do it anyway.
Okay.
But yeah. So this is the sequence. I don't need the first one, right? Because the first one is and these represent the individual bit sequence. So the bit sequence, if you go back here, right, I'll say this is 0, 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 this is 0. Then here's 1, 0, 0, 1, whatever. And so on.
Right.
So the first 7 bits, in fact, the first 8 bits I don't even care because it's always 0. Then I start from here, and then I just turn them into a big engine byte, and then I write it out into my code.
Okay.
Wherever my code is. So the 255 means that there was 8 ones later on. 3, 4, yeah, something like that. And the next one is 126, which I don't know, means there was some zeros and whatever.
Okay.
So I pack this all into bytes, and then I dump them here. Is what you get.
Okay. I
Instead of writing out,
sort of get it.
Yeah. Instead of writing out a string of ones and zeros, which would have required 256 bytes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 255 bytes. I just decided to put them into a whole bunch of uints.
Right.
Yeah. And then this is how I fill up the tau memory. If you go back into this one and look at the tiles, it's this whole zoom in. There's this whole sequence here that you can see in the middle.
No. That's very nice.
Ta-da!
That's very cool.
And so, in short, I managed to generate a whole bunch of sprites, then you get the sequence like this.
It's very nice.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Yeah.
Yeah. Ta-da!
Nice.
Now, it turns out that there's a bit of an issue in that sprites don't blend with each other. Sprites can only blend with the background layers.
Okay.
So
well, that's an interesting constraint. Why do they have that constraint?
It's just how the hardware works. Like, I think they kind of assume that the sprites would not blend with each other.
I see.
You just draw your sprite and just slap it on the screen. And whatever you need to blend with, you just put in the background.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why you can see on the borders, you can see the slightly different color on the border. That's where it's blending. Slightly brighter on the borders.
Yes.
But among themselves, they don't blend.
Right.
I could probably get around this by just having the white tiles as sprites, and then because last time I talked, one of the issues was I only can get up to 2 background layers that can be transformed.
Right.
And we do this transformation because I don't want the Minos, the playing field to stretch from bottom of screen all the way to top of screen.
Right.
So I had to scale it down. So I can kind of get around it by having 2 background layers that I will scale down, and then I'll use the same technique in previously. But I think this looks okay already, lah.
It's looking good.
I think any more would be no one would notice. Anyway, this is supposed to be a demo.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be a.
That's very cool. And you keep it running. Keep it running.
Keep it running. So let me just read.
Okay.
Showcase my food stuff.
Yeah, the effect shows up every time it locks in place, right?
And then I'm not sure if you can notice, but the background layer also does a little animation when you're clearing lines.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I noticed it.
For anyone who's out there who has not noticed it. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so that's that. And
what's next?
Let me just.
Yeah.
I
do you have another animation? Take a look.
Oh, this is a bug, but it is also a feature.
No.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
It's a feature. Can you restart the thing? Are you able to restart?
Yeah, you just have to press any button.
I see.
Left, right, up, down, and you will restart.
It's a feature. It's an accidental feature. Feature's a feature.
It was supposed to. The code is like only upon locking will it do the animation once.
Only upon what?
Upon locking, like upon changing to lock state, locking the tower into place.
Yeah.
Then it will do the whole this animation thing. But it turns out that when you game over, you are locking all the way. Every frame you're relocking.
Frame you're locking, I see.
And in fact, that's how the effect for when you clear a line.
Yeah.
When you clear a line, that's actually also unintended. Right,
it's just locking
because
while the animation is playing.
Yeah, it keeps going back into the locking state. Every frame.
It's a accidental feature.
Accidental feature, but it works.
Yeah, nice. Oh, what's next for you?
What's next? I'm thinking maybe next week I can play around with sound. Because just looking at this, it's not very impactful. You need a bit of sound to have impact.
True.
Right?
True.
So next week, playing with sound.
I wonder if you'll be able to share your sound across, through this Discord.
Yeah.
Screen share.
We'll have to try it out. Try it out before this session next week.
True. Yeah, we'll have to try it out. Cool, man. This is nice.
Yeah, so that's that for me. Your turn.
Okay, my turn. I'll keep it short. Hang on.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, mine is pretty short. Hang on, this is stop watching this thing, right? Okay. Just a moment.
And if you hear stuff in the background, I think there's a wedding going on somewhere.
Really? Oh, I don't hear it.
Okay, that's good.
So John, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I do. I'm able to see your screen.
Awesome. Just give me a moment, eh?
No.
So again, right, because I have to balance my part-time commitment, part-time job. My progress is a little bit limited, but I'll show you what I have. So last week, do you recall what I showed last week? It's the level selection screen, right? So I made some changes to it. I cleaned up the UI display. Like I think last week it was a tad cramped. So now you can take a look at this. This is the level selection screen. Alright, each world contains 9 separate levels, and for each level, right, you will see this diamond shaped thingy followed by a number. So what do you think the number is?
Is it the number of diamonds remaining?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So in this case, right, if you go in, right, you see that there are 6 of them. Let's see. Let's collect them. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. It's collected. So previously, right, let me see if I have my previous build. If you just give me a short moment. Let me run another executable. You can see it used to be like this, right? Like 10/10. It's super cramped, right? It's super noisy. Yeah. So I decided to change it up a bit, right? So it's a lot cleaner, right? Because like, if it's so cramped, right, then your eyes just cannot focus on anything. Yeah. So that's one thing. Another is see this? As the counter, this is
shows you how many you've collected.
Exactly. So that's another thing that I've done. Now, I actually ran into a challenge, like just doing this, like something as simple as this, was it turned out that it wasn't quite as trivial as I would have liked. So say for instance, each of this level, right, has like an arbitrary number of collectibles, right? It depends on how I design the level. Sometimes there's a lot of collectibles, sometimes there isn't, right? And the idea is that when I go into the world, right, I need to be able to calculate, right, what is the total number of collectibles per level, right? And you would think that that would be trivial to get, because ultimately all of the collectibles, right, the data for the collectibles are inside of the levels themselves, right? So essentially, within each level file, right, there is information about all of the collectibles, like the positions and so on and so forth. So you would think that GameMaker, or rather GML, right, has the API for retrieving the number of collectibles by the level name. But it turns out that that wasn't the case. Like I couldn't grab the number of I couldn't grab the total number of like a particular type of object until I've actually loaded the level itself.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that was a problem, right? Yeah. So but the data is definitely in the object in the level file itself. So let me open it up and show you what I mean by that. Okay. Oh, I don't know why there's a 0809. That's weird. Anyways, right. Let's take a look at this. Right. You see this? It's quite cool that all the levels are actually just a text file. It's a JSON file. So, so that makes things somewhat easier because I can actually read the file. So here, you can see that these are all the collectibles. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in level 08. So what I did was I wrote a script, or rather a C# program, that would just go through my directory, right? My rooms directory, right? Well, specified as a command line argument, and then I will just go through into each of the folder, right? So as you can see, right, inside rooms, these are all my room folder, right? So I'll just step in and then read the file, step out, step in, read the next file, step out, until I couldn't read, until I run out of levels to read. And as I go through each file, I just count the number of all collectible. And that's how I get the total number of collectibles per room. And in my argument, right, I also have a destination directory. That's where I write to this file, collectibles.ini. So if you go to, say, data files, this is the output file. There you go, and that's what I have. Right. So during load time, right, I read this file and then I just when I need to, I just calculate the total for that particular world and I display it here. As for the current collected collectibles, right, that is saved inside a different file. That is saved inside the save.json. Right, so you can see it's not very readable here. It's a lot easier. That's right. Yeah, because like they are all the ID they are all here already. Hang on, right. So essentially, I just need to retrieve the data from the map, the DS map. And that's how I have this. So, it always surprised me, right? That something that seems so trivial, have like it turns out to not be quite as trivial. It requires me to write an external tool to do something like this. Yeah.
That's the game developer life. This should be easy to do. In fact, this is the software developer life.
Software developer, yeah.
Goes to read up and like, no, this is not easy to do. Right?
Yeah, exactly. In any case, I just want to point out that I'm using this particular library, JSON.net. I think that's what it's called. JSON.net. It makes the implementation of this program like way easier. That all I have to do is just this one line, right? And then I do another line and check what the value is, and that's it. So very cool. All the available resources out there.
Nice. Do you run this manually, or is it like
so I don't know how to hook this up to the building process. I don't know how to do that. So I unfortunately, right, I have to write a bat file. Right, that I have to manually click on. But I imagine you would know a better solution. Like, what do you suggest I can do?
I don't know if there's any way for GameMaker to run like a pre-processor kind of step. You can try looking into the build menu or whatever to see if there's anything that you can insert a batch script. Like you already have the batch script, so you could probably maybe insert the batch script into the process.
Okay.
Maybe. If they support it. I have to go look at the documentation.
If they don't support it, right, then what other options do I have?
No.
Like, is there like maybe like a server that I can run, right? And then it will check like whether there's any changes in the directory. Like, how would I do that?
Yeah. I think like Node.js has some. There are some packages. There are some packages for Node.js that will sort of monitor a directory. I think probably there are some Python packages as well, Python libraries to help you monitor a specific directory, and if anything changes, then it will just run whatever command you tell it to run.
I see.
There are a few of these out there. I can go help you Google it.
Hey, thanks.
Because that's what some of these things. That's what I use for, say, like web development. Some earlier web projects that I had, right? I don't want to have to keep refreshing the page every time I make a change.
Right.
Just type something, save it, and then the page refreshes immediately, and then you can just look at it straight away.
Yeah.
So there are plugins there are libraries for Node.js that do this.
Nice.
And I think there are some for Python. If worse comes to worse, you write your own.
What's I write my own, but I would rather focus my effort on finishing the game, right?
Spends 40 hours on writing a tool that is used less than 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? So, yeah, I mean, if the solution is easy, then yeah, sure. If not, then I will focus my efforts on building the content for the game. So that's one thing, right? So that's one of the significant things that happened during the week while I was working on this. Then last night, well, I was just working on unlocking the world, right? So, let me. Okay, so inside the levels.ini, which basically is the definition of like each world, right? I added a new variable, right? Not a variable, but a new property, I suppose, right? Called cost. So you can see that for world 2, I need a total of 20 collectible for world 2 to be accessible. Then for world 3 is 40. And so on and so forth, right? 60 and so on and so forth. So, so I did that last night. So you can see that I at the moment 33 in total. So therefore, World 2 is accessible. And so yeah, I can actually access it. Alright, let's see. I realized there are some levels, right, that oops, crap. There are some levels that I made that I forgot to add collectibles for. Yeah, so I have to work on those as well. There we go. Ta-da! Like this one. This one has no collectible, that's why it's just showing a star. Because there's 0, there's no collectible at all in here. Like that. So I have to fix those. Otherwise, you know, the level become a bit worthless, right? Yeah. Okay, that's one thing. From a design, there's a design challenge that I'm facing. You know, I have some tutorial levels. So like the first 4 levels here, right? They are tutorial levels because they teach you how to, or like say this one is how to do wall jump, right? This one is how to do short hopping. Because if you jump too high, right? If you just press all the way, you will touch the spikes and die like that. Right. So this is important. But the way I'm currently designing the world, right, is that I have all of the levels be accessible right from the very start. Right. So if you contrast it with my previous game, which was Serial Scramblers, you know how Serial Scramblers flow, right? Serial Scramblers is strictly linear. So if you get stuck at any one level, you are stuck for good, right? You cannot proceed. And because of that, there are some players that would just give up on the game. So this time around, I thought, you know what? If a player gets stuck on the level, right, I can. It shouldn't matter, right? I can use the Mario 64 approach, where you can skip any levels that you feel is too difficult, right? Go to the next one, and you can proceed so long as you have enough collectibles. Right. So that was the plan. Now, but the thing is, for tutorial levels, then how would I, how would I enforce that the players still at least, go through the tutorial levels first? Yeah. So what I can do, I suppose, right, is lock like some of these levels until the player have completed the tutorial levels. But is that an elegant solution? Like, is there a simpler solution available?
What if you put only one collectible in each of these levels? Okay. Then you cannot proceed. Then you need 9. You need 9 collectibles to go to World 2. You only unlock World 2 if you have all 9.
So in other words, it could be that for the first world, instead of having 9 levels. Wait, hang on. Because not all of these are tutorial levels.
Okay. Then you shift the bottom.
So yeah, I can shift this to the next world, right? Is that what you're saying? Like shift the bottom to the next world and then have this world one. Sorry.
Oh, there was a lag, and then I completely didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, okay. Let me repeat. I'm saying that you're suggesting I shift the non-tutorial levels to the next world, right? So maybe world 1 should only have like 4 levels. Ah, yeah. That's a good solution. Maybe I can do that. Oh, of course, that means I'll have to code like different structures, right? Because this is organized as a 3x3 grid, so I'll have to do one that's 2x2 or something like that.
Well, is there? So are these like the top 6? Are they all tutorials?
No, only 1, 2, 3, 4. This one isn't a tutorial.
Make more tutorials.
Make more tutorials? I suppose I can. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, right?
You could reinforce the message, right? If you only have 4, you have 4 tutorials, then you make another 5 more that reinforce the skills for these 4.
You are right.
You keep the same structure, and then you get the additional benefit of players actually figuring out what your tutorial is trying to say.
Maybe. Yeah, that is true. That's true. There's no need to like code a whole new formation, right? Just for something like this.
Or if the formation is really easy to do,
then do it. Right. No, it's just it's a dilemma. I feel like you probably don't want like 2 levels, right? That is exactly doing the same thing, because then the game feel like not as tight, right? Yeah. I'll just have to think about this. But yeah, that's a good suggestion. Okay. So yeah, that's what I have. Essentially all GUI stuff. And I wasn't expecting that I would need to write an external program, but I did. Yeah, but I have to. So that's one thing.
I guess that's part of game development, right? The tools that are provided by the engine, like either Unity or Game Maker or whatever 3D engine you're using, game engine you're using, it's made for the general audience, the general game developer audience, and you cannot find tools that are always customized for your needs. And so we always have to write some tools to help us in our workflow, right?
True, that is true.
Like I wrote a script to help me generate the brown sequence for my stuff.
That is so true. Yeah, that was super cool. Lucius says poggers. Do you have anything to say to him, John?
You are poggers.
You are poggers. You are poggers.
You're all poggers.
Is that a reference to Keanu?
Yeah.
Okay. So there we have it. There's a few more UI stuff that I have to tweak. For example, if I click on the second world, right? Okay, and then I return. You can see that the focus is switched back to the first level here. So this is the default position. I need to code in something, right, so that the game knows which was the level that which was the world that you last clicked on, so that when you come back to this screen, right, it's the camera is at the right place. Yeah, so that is another thing. All this stuff takes forever to do. Yeah, exactly, John. Like it's like I'm almost done with GUI, and then while wrapping it up, right, a new issue came out. It's always like that.
Yeah. The UI stuff that's always. Oh, now I have to add a new control flow, like a new if statement somewhere to redirect to it.
Exactly. So
just to make it a slightly better experience.
Exactly. So yeah. So Lucius actually asked me for a build that I've yet to give him. I told him I will give it to him soon. A PC build actually. So I'll be trying to do that, and then I have yet to make a mobile build. So I will do that as well, and then hopefully I can give you the test flight link. Yeah. I'll try my best to get it to that state. And let me see. Would that be it? So mobile build, some more GUI stuff, and if I can, I want to add a new mechanic, a cannon. You know cannon in Donkey Kong Country.
Okay, the barrel.
The barrel, yes, the barrel cannon, right? Yeah. So I want to do that because I feel like if I have that, right, if I have that particular mechanic, I can it can lead to more stuff. Like for example, when I fire the player out of the cannon, it's not just a way to travel the level, right? It's there are some puzzle potential to it. Like for example, I can shoot the barrel at an angle, right, and let the player bounce to a platform. So then now there's more precision to the mechanic. And that's it. That's what I have, and that's what I will be working on. Should we recap? Should we do a recap? Yeah.
Right. So I showed off a bit more of the effects that I was planning to do for my Tetris game, and next week I will try to work on sound.
Sound.
Yeah. Okay, GBA.
Would you be composing some music for us?
let's start with sound effects.
Let's start with sound effects first. Okay. Okay. So for you, sound, and for me, try to wrap up the GUI and hopefully make a mobile build. And if I can, I'll make a new mechanic. But knowing my track record, I'll probably only achieve like one of the tasks. Okay. That's it. Shall we call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks everyone for hanging around. We really appreciate that you're interested in our work. Lucia say do a playthrough of my game. I can play like the last 3 levels, like if you want to see it. So this level, specifically chosen for the first world. As you can see, there's no enemies, and really it just tests you on your jumping, right, from platform to platform. Yeah, like this. Ta-da! Alright, this level is based on Lucia's suggestion actually, right? By hiding items inside inside the disappearing blocks, it makes for an interesting level. Hang on. What was that, John? Dojang. Alright, and then this one.
Joke.
The what?
It's a joke.
It's a joke. I see.
Well, it's a phrase that one of the characters in one of the JoJo's likes to say.
Okay, there we go. Oh my god.
You're jang.
Damn it! What is this? Okay, I'm going to fix this later. Shall we edit
You
here?
saved the day.
Wait. Oh my bloody god. Hang on. Let me snip a photo so I don't lose this. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Jang. Okay. Anyways, thanks everyone for hanging around. We will be continuing our discussion next Sunday, around the same timing. And that's it. We'll see you around.
Yeah. We'll see
Bye
you around.
bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Dojang.
Dojang.